Hello, this is Fred Rowe from Sierra Bright Duck Fly Fishing Guide Service. I've been teaching, guiding, riding, and lecturing on the Eastern Sierras since 1982. Let's get to this week's fly fishing report for December 13th to the 19th. Wow, the 19th? That means we're less than a week from Christmas and a week to my youngest daughter's birthday. Yes, she has a birthday day after Christmas, but we won't talk about that. Let's talk about fly fishing, and in particular, let's talk about the Lower Owens River. Still producing, still fishing good. Dry fly activity, if you can find the right day and the right place. Otherwise, nymphing's great. Dry fly hatch, middle of the day, 12 to 1-ish, 11:30 to 1:30, somewhere in that neighborhood. Blue-wing olives, maybe a few PMDs, seeing those out there as well. Not a lot of them, but a few here and there. So what are we fishing on the surface? Size 18, blue-wing olive parachutes, size 18, PMD parachutes. Okay, nymphing. Well, that's what I like doing the most, so we'll talk a little bit more about that. Particularly the flies. We're using size 18 olive quilligons. We're using size 18 beadhead flashback pheasant tails, size 16 hotspot pheasant tails. Still using a few of the size 12 or 14 olive burlap caddis out there. All those things are producing fish for me. My stoner nymph produces the biggest fish of the day, whether that's a 6-inch or a 15-inch fish. It seems to produce biggest fish of the day. And how are we delivering those? Well, I like fishing the Euro rod, but under an indicator, that works really, really well too. If you're using the indicator, have the indicator 6 feet above your bottom fly and use a size 1 split shot, and that'll get you down on the bottom and working your flies on the substrate where the fish are feeding. All right, Bishop Creek Canal. It's fishing good, but you got to be careful what you're doing out there. Fish are real spooky because the water's super low, super clear. If you're fishing the quicker runs, riffles kind of water, or the deep holes, you're less likely to spook fish and catch more fish in there. Not seeing really much in the way of dry fly activity out there, so I'm concentrating all my efforts on nymphing out there. And again, I got some favorite flies, so yes, I'm using the size 18 olive quilligon, I'm using the size 16 hotspot pheasant tail, the size 18 beadhead flashback pheasant tail. Then we're seeing midges around, so I'm using size 18 or 20. And in the midges, the colors we're using are the tiger, the blood, and the zebra midges. Okay, up the hill. Let's talk about the Upper Owens River access. Yeah, I had a chance to finally get up there, drive through the snow. It's no big deal. If you have two-wheel drive, be careful. There's a little bit of mud, a little bit of snow here and there, but you just got to be careful where you're driving. The mud in particular is what's going to get you stuck more than the snow. The weather's been cold enough in the morning so you can drive out. Be aware, once it warms up, things soften up. That spot you drove through in the morning may not be drivable coming out. So just be careful driving out there. What are we doing fishing-wise? Or primarily looking for the winter rainbows. They're in the river. They're not in huge concentrations, but more than enough concentrations to warrant fishing for them. And what are we doing to fish for them? I know a lot of guys like fishing egg patterns, mop flies, and their worm patterns for them. And that'll get you the fish. No doubt about that. But I like doing something a little different. I like fishing the deep holes, the deep runs, and the cut banks using bigger nymphs, size 12. And what nymphs am I using? Well, the stoner nymph, the green gold prince nymph, both in size 12. And then I like to throw a small fly on so I can catch smaller fish if I'm not getting a lot of the bigger fish. And I'm using up there either a hotspot pheasant tail or the olive quilligon. And when I say bigger fish, those trophy fish are size 18 or bigger. Yeah, and we're getting anywhere from 1 to 3 or 4 of those a day. Hot Creek. Early morning, weather's cold, not much going on. Get out there middle of the day or a little later. I keep forgetting it's ski season, so it cracks me up to see it get busy later. But those are guys, they're out skiing in the morning and coming out and fishing the creek late in the day, around 1:32, maybe even 3 after they're done skiing. What are we doing out there? There's a little bit of dry fly activity going on here or there, particularly in the interpretive site. I'd be fishing adult midge patterns like Griffith Snats in a size 20 or 22, but I'm midging in there because that's what I like to do with nips on the bottom. So I'm using tiger midges, zebra midges, blood midges. Then we're also using some of the other stuff in there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Blue wing olive imitations on the nips, which are your size 18 or 20. Beadhead flashback pheasant tail, size 18. Olive quilldagong, size 16. Hot spot pheasant tail in there. Well, this has been Fred Rowe from Fly Fishing. I can be found every Tuesday at my favorite breakfast spot, Mahogany Smoked Meats, eating a burrito, talking fly fishing. Find me on Instagram or Facebook or my favorite, lpptv.us.